My name is Henry, and today I'm talking about this paper, distribution of coastal dolphin under the impact of long-term habitat loss. Indo-Pacific humpback dolphin of Taiwan's west coast. And this is the picture of it. And about the Indo-Pacific humpback dolphins. And TWC means Taiwan West Coast. TWC has undergone large alteration of coastal environment due to coastal construction. And there are two regions of TWC with relatively high signage frequency of humpback dolphin. It means sector N and sector S. And we'll talk about why they pass three parts later. And humpback dolphins, genus Salsa, are known from their restricted inshore distribution and narrow habitat selectivity. And of Taiwan's west coast, the population of Indo-Pacific humpback dolphins, Salsa chinensis, is estimated to number less than 100 individuals, and is classified as critically endangered under the IUCN criteria C2 and D. And C2, it means small population size and decline. And D means very small or restricted population. And it has two purposes. And the first one is why are dolphins only found in two specific regions, like sector sector N and sector S? And how does habitat degradation affect their distribution? And to answer these two questions, we need two information. And the one is the area of habitat loss, and the second one is the amount of the humpback dolphins. And so we'll use satellite image analysis to find the loss area, and it's following the area classification of Cho and Lee's, and incorporating physiographic characteristics such as major rivers and coastal features, as well as a history of land use related to recent coastal developments, urbanization, and industrialization. And we divided the TWC region into three sectors: North Sector N, and Central Sector C, and South Sector S. So this is a reason why we separate it to three parts. Yeah, these three parts. And this is the image from 1972 to 2013. It's from U.S. Geological Survey websites. And this is a sector N's picture, and you just have to focus on the near sea area, and you have A, B, and you can see in 1972 and 20 and 13, and you can see there's not very big difference from these years and in sector N. And next is sector C, and you can see there's a lot of stuff these years. Yes. And so does sector S. There's they build a lot of things there. Oh, so the dolphin press. Next, I will introduce some parameters to test the habitat loss. And the dolphin press species are found primarily in shallow waters inshore of the 5-meter isobase. And while 95% of dolphin sightings occur in water less than 15 meters deep. And consequently, we define the coastal stream inshore of the 15 mean isobase as dolphin habitats. And the coastal tree ensure of the 5-meter isobase as dolphin foraging habitats. An area of land reclamation in that sector in year T. And the extent of habitat loss was estimated by a Habitat Intelligence Index called HII. And HII is the most important thing. And all of the parameter below and is to calculate this HII. And the formula is that. So if a HII is approached to 1, it means habitats rarely being broken. And if a HII is close to 0, it means a lot of habitat is broke. Oh, and next we have to know the dolphin sinus analysis. And the data from CHO and these collected by the means of regular boat survey along the TWC with coastal routes and offshore routes based on GPS tracks. And total number of groups seen and the total effort measured as the length of the coast covered during the surveys. And we have to use GNL to calculate the SPUE. And SPUE means sightings per unit efforts. This is results. And the results, now the most evident change in coastal landscape involve the degradation of estuarine system, loss of coastal marshes, and the degradation of shore application standby, much of which have been replaced with agriculture, aquaculture, urban and industrial development, road construction, embankment, slow modification, and large-scale land reclamation. And it's happened especially in Sector C and the northern section of Sector S. And a substantial decrease in the width of water course and urban fan of the major rivers occur in sectors N and C. And you can see we estimated a total of 222.8 loss. And the most loss is in sector C and S. So, and there's only 2.9 loss in sector N. And an equivalent of almost 23% of dolphin habitats and over 40% of dolphin forage habitats. And we calculate the mean SPUE. SPUE means sighting per unit effort. For each of the 3 sectors of the cost average is 2.61 and 0.48 and 1.52. So there's more SPUE in sector N and very less in sector C. And this is the data, SPUE data. And the results, it used Baffaroni post hoc test indicate that there was a significant difference in SPUE between NC sector and CS sectors, but no difference between NS sectors. So it means C is below N and S very much, but N and S sector is the same. So the amount of dolphin is very few in sector C. And they use a general linear model analyze indicate that HII covariates had a significant effect on SPUE. And it demonstrating that sighting of humpback dolphins increase with an increase in HII values. So we can answer the question before. And why are dolphins only found in 2 specific regions? Because sector C lost many 116.7 square kilometer, and most of land reclamation in sector C. And how does habitat degradation affect their distributions? Is sighting of humpback dolphin increase with an increase in HII values? And there's another other factor to infect the dolphins, and it's construction of deep water harbors within the land reclaimed area further transform the preferred dolphin habitats, and the degradation of subconscious feature and alteration of the depth gradients in coastal water can have many implications of humpback dolphins and their prey. And the last is conservation implications. And by the time the first data of Taiwan humpback dolphin were available, extensive area of potential critical habitat were already lost to land reclamation. So it means before their area is extensive, so there you can you can see dolphin in the TWC, Taiwan West Coast. And the current discontinuous distribution of humpback dolphins of TWC is likely due to a different extent of habitat degradation rather than natural patchiness of their environment. And this is my...
What is IUCN?
Oh, IUCN is a association, and it can define it define the endangered species. There's many endangered species, and they classify it and add label to them.
Okay, thank you.
What I want to ask is the humpback dolphin, what is its role in the ecosystem?
It's restricted inshore distribution and narrow habitat selectivity. So it's very sensitive when the environment change. So we can buy its amount to see the environment change.
In this research, the result shows that the humpback dolphin is decreased, all right? Is it right?
It shows, oh yes, okay. It is right.
So when it decrease, when its number decrease, what will influence to the ecosystem near his habitat?
Oh, it didn't mention that, sorry.
Okay.
Can you explain your conclusion again, because it's too many words I can follow?
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I think maybe the conclusion is the purpose there. And it used this general linear model to prove that the size of humpback dolphin increase with an increase in HI values. So the lost habitats is relative to the amount of the humpback dolphin.
Okay, thank you.
And in your image, they are purple and blue. Did they mention? Did they have to explain?
Purple and blue. You mean that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I think that is they build something to the picture, but it is not the what you want to say, because it isn't a fair that the area, because the habitat is in the sea, so the land is not what we focus on.
Oh.
So
Okay.
The first thing I hope that, because the authors, they are not Taiwanese, but you are Taiwanese. So you should tell us, where is sector N, where is sector C, where is sector S. I have no idea which county we are looking at. And then second, you need to tell us, these authors, they use satellite image. to study the habitat loss of an aquatic organism, right? It's aquatic. But you see that this satellite image, they are, for the ocean part, is basically not very clear, right? So there's a missing link which you mentioned later, which is that you have a slide where you tell us the foraging ground is at the very late stage. Yes, this is a key point. You need to tell us. So I think Ariel's question was, what is their role in the ecosystem? Above that, you should tell us their habitat condition, like they live, what kind of environment, where do they live, and where do they forage. And then because of their foraging ground is very shallow water, we can use satellite image to study the habitat loss. Otherwise, it's very confusing how you can use this kind of image to study the sightings, the change of sightings of an aquatic animal. It's very weird to me at the beginning. You should say that at the beginning. And your introduction part is not very interesting. I really suggest that you should add more image to enrich your presentation, like their habitat. I don't know whether there might be some image in the Chinese website, 中文的网站可能有这些那个可能是叫什么中华白海豚吗还是什么 Your slides always have a lot of text, too much. And when you have a lot of text, you for many of them, for some of them you highlight keywords, but some of them you don't. Please condense your text. If you don't know how to condense, makes it shorter, ask me. It's too much text. I don't really like this kind of presentation. Okay. And then when after you condense your text, your sentence, you can enlarge your font. There are places where you have this. I really wonder why do you leave the space here? It's not Chinese art. 你不是山水画吧? You don't need to leave the space here, right? And also here, since you have this image, why do you leave it so small? Or why do you have the space here? You can enlarge this large, right? So we can view them easily. 11, where you have these funny, where I think these words pops up several times. Explain it. Reclamation. What does it mean? Okay. And here, there's a keywords, 13, where you talk about the study of Zhou et al., their group, where they did this kind of bow survey. I really wonder whether you can look it up and maybe you can tell us. You don't need to read it. You tell us what kind, do they ever show a map where did they do their bow survey? Maybe you can add an image of their bow survey or even some of their data here, because I don't know whether you realize that in these results, there's not a single figure. Is it the way the original data? Let me see. Isn't there any figure? Yes, why didn't you show this? Yeah, you should show data. And you should avoid tables. As I mentioned last week already, you should not do this. You can convert it like Sheila did. She made a nice chart herself. I teach you how to do this, didn't I? In my first 2 lectures, use Excel or whatever. You can do it very easily. It's really bad. Next time, I don't want to see results like you describe the results. It should be you show the data, especially ideally in figures. And then based on the figure, you tell us what is a key point to look at. Not this kind of text. It's especially bad that you present these statistical results without any data. It's so weird. Okay, whenever you present statistical result, you should show original data first. And this is a bad way to show original data. We don't actually realize that the data is related somewhere here. I don't know. Is that the case? You see the citing data, no? Is it the citing data? Yeah, but we don't make connections because when I see table, I stop looking. Okay, SPU is here. So make it nicer next time. It's great that you redefine SPU here, but this is really bad, so correct this. And when you want to present statistical results, first, you don't need to really tell us in this kind of presentation, you don't need the term here. You don't need to, they won't know that, what kind of test is it. You just need to tell us you did some statistical tests, but before you say that, you should show data. Show data nicely. And here, you say, there is this. Is there any corresponding data figure for this? Is there data for this linear regression? Well, I don't know whether it's a problem of the paper or your presentation. Because your talk was already 11, close to 12 minutes, I would say that other factor, this one can be taken out, okay? And this one can also be taken out. You can actually stop here. But you can, when you stop here, it would be great to change this to conclusion. Don't use purpose, conclusions. Next time, please tell us more about the dolphin itself in your introduction and condense the text. It's too much text, okay? And I feel that some of them is from the paper. So you need to rephrase it in your own words and then show data graphically, okay? Hope to see you an improvement next time.